Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Brick Rigs. I'm going to be showing off some of the newest creations that I have made that aren't cars. And of them, there is a few. So to start off with, what I'm going to show, first of all, is a couple of the new police cars that I've made. First up, we've got this because the first police car that I made, I decided it wasn't quick enough, not enough power. It's good for low speed chases, but sometimes you need something with high speed. So I had a look for something quick, which could go as a police car, and I looked at my electric car and I thought, bingo, the electric car motor is a quick motor. So I was like, no, let's modify this. So that was a combination of that and this that I just said there. Is one word. So yeah, I was like, let's modify that. So here it is. Obviously, it doesn't need a grille at the front, so I could do anything I want with the front. So I made it nice and sloped and rounded. On the front, these two flashing lights here, and then you've also got this headlights there, warning lights there. There's the front number plate. It says Pol 2 for Police 2. You know, and then oh god. Up the front here, it's got police written on there. On the side again, Pol and then ICE on two different 2x1 nameplates, and then 999 written on the side there, still in the checkered pattern of the English police. The same with that blue police lettering for the English police. And then you've got up the top the two flashing lights of two different colours on the top, and then you've got the double siren up there. Again, with the black pillars. Inside, you've still got gear stick here. Oh, there you go, gear stick there. Steering wheel there. Bars on the back. And then, yeah, still got some boot space. Still got the boot. Pol 2 written on the back. Reverse lights there. There's the high-level brake light, plus two more flashing lights, and then the tail lights at the back. And yeah, didn't need to model the underside, as it were. I could have done, but I decided not to. So yeah, electric engine is still in the front here, as we can see somewhere. I think it's hidden. It's hidden back here somewhere. But yeah, so it's still in there. The front is sort of reminiscent of the very old style Land Rovers, like the Series 3s and things, with the fact that the lights stick out from the front of the chassis. And yeah, just the general sloping and rounding on the front is nice, still in the white. Is it getting towards night time? So there we go. So yeah, the controls are exactly the same. H for headlights, J for warning lights. H is also for horn, because I haven't binded. I sort of didn't think before I bound headlights to H. They were on L, but yeah, I bound them ages ago. And so now the horn sort of sounds every time I turn on and off the headlights, but I will. And then it's Q for the flashing lights, as you can see there. And then 1 for one siren, and 2 for the other. And I won't subject you to that noise. And yeah, it is a quicker police car. It's quicker, it's more silent than the other one. It is unfortunately more unstable because of the electric engine. But yeah, other than that, it's just a quick police car for doing chases in. And then the next one, I was like, well, I need something in the bit in between a police van and a police car. So what do you have? An SUV. So I attempted to make one, and it hasn't really come out that well, I will admit. Because it's an SUV, I've got off-road tyres. They just sort of made sense. The front, it's a big long front end. I started the checkered pattern early, which caused me probably a lot of problems. If I'd started it later, I probably wouldn't have had all the problems that I did. But hey ho. So yeah, up the front, lots of things on the front. You got the number plate there, a couple of little chrome bits at the front, flashing lights in the centre there, and then you've got two headlight bricks there, and then indicator bricks on the side. Again, two slightly raised bits, because I thought, I don't know why, but I just thought, I can't just leave the bonnet flat with nothing on it, I want to have some life in it. So I was like, yeah, we'll just give it these raised bits and put flashing lights on them. Again, I don't know why, but it gives it the 999 a nice place to sit, doesn't it? And then there's a 999 at the back. Police, again, written on the side. Same blue and yellow checkered pattern. Same blue... sorry, the same black pillars. Inside space for officers, because I thought this isn't going to be quick enough for police chases, because inside here somewhere I have got the van engine. There it is. This thing, it's a van engine, and I was like, well, yeah, that's never going to keep up with any sort of car, so I was like, yeah, it can just be used to bring officers to the scene. So that's why it's got 6 spaces, there's no bars in it, still got a steering wheel, still got a gear stick. In the back, great big boot space, plus the boot opens, as you can just about see from this bit here. We've got an actuator, and that swings open the boot section. And in fact, on the boot, we've got reverse lights down there, tail lights there, warning light there, high level stop light back here, and then we got the flashers, and again flashers on the top as well. Doors on the side here, like that, just because, yeah, why not? And then yeah, space for 6 officers, 5 in the passenger seats plus 1 as a driver, and again the underside is also modelled. And yeah, it's getting dark, so we'll turn on the headlights, and that's what it looks like from the front. Yeah, you know, flashing lights again, and warning lights, like so. And it's got pole 3, because this was the 3rd police car that I made, so I was like, well, the number plate can be pole 3, since the first one was pole 1, obviously short for police 3. And it's the same sort of siren. Whee, over the jump, back end falls off, yeah. But the boot opens, like so, using pitch. Pitch controls that. And yeah, then it can close again, and it closes back up nice and nice like that. Not good with words. But yeah, so this is the police car. Well, the police SUV thing that I've made. Again, I will admit it's not the best car that I've made, but it is an attempt at it, isn't it? And then I'll just show you the underside. As you can see, the underside, I tried to space it out better, so these are in dark grey for the transmission and the driveline and the gearbox, and then the whole exhaust train coming back under here, going underneath the well, underneath and then back up to the car, which sort of goes underneath the drivetrain, and then comes back to this little bit, and then an exhaust at the back, all in chrome, obviously. And yeah, so there's that. Yeah, again, I will admit it's not the best car that I've made, nor is this. But I was like, well, the exhaust, the electric motor is quick. So what do you do with quick motors? You build sports cars out of them. And then I was thinking, well, generally sports cars are nice and sleek things, so I tried to build a nice and sleek sports car, and this is the best I came up with. Again, not the best car that I've made, but it has a striking look to it. It's certainly compact, I'll give it that. So the front, the electric motor's in here. There it is. This thing there. So yeah, electric motor in the front. Under here, this is just rounding and sloping to make it look streamlined. And then on the front, you've got the number plate, which looks like Sport, obviously SP0RT. Headlights at the front there, and then warning lights on the side here. Don't know why I had them raised out like that, but I thought it looked interesting, probably. Now, this uses the thinner wheels, but these are the correct wheels that are supposed to be used on cars, I assume. So, yeah, these are just under there, and I experimented with a different kind of mudguard. That's this mudguard, which is actually quite a nice mudguard piece to use. I just never used it much. But anyway, yeah, so I use them. Indicator lights on the side here. In the front, here's the... it's a 2-seater sports car, and you've got the steering column, the steering wheel, and the gear selector there. And then a little radio aerial out the back there. The back, I will admit, is probably one of the better parts about it, because it's very flat and smooth, and streamlined, and it's probably come out looking better than the front, I will admit. And the windscreen is tinted black. I don't know why, because I wanted it to be, well, important people have black tinted windscreens, so I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then I was like, now I can fit tail lights onto this thing. I can also fit reverse lights. I can also fit indicators onto it. But where do I put the brake lights for because of course when it's dark and you have the headlights on, if you're braking, people don't know that you're braking because the tail lights also double as the brake lights. So I just had to sort of mount them here, just above the number plate, and again, of course, rear number plate, plus some more rounding and sloping. And then on the bottom, I also rounded that off with some sloping, and also just layered it off with some flat plates as well. And the front has also got a nice sloping going on with it, as has the back. And yeah, those bits have turned out all right. It looks decent. It is rather unstable, however. There's the headlights at the front. Headlights in this game don't really work very well, so you can't really see much with it, but then you can see pretty well at night time anyway. So yeah, so there's that. So it's H for headlights again, J for the warning lights, which are possibly even brighter than the headlights, but oh well. And then of course there's the reverse lights and the brake light there. And then yeah, that's the view from the front. Lots of wheels, lots of screeching, and well, I can go at a pace, as we have a bad landing there. Again, a problem with this car is that because these front headlights are mounted on a single redirector, it's the 6 wide redirector, which means that if the front gets hit, the whole thing tends to fall off. But other than that, it's not that bad. It goes rather quickly, and yeah, it looks a bit like a sports car, and it feels a bit like a sports car. Oh, we landed that. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, just sports car. As we go off, have a bad crash. But yeah, so there's that. Not much more I can really say on that. And then what I wanted to do, I wanted to experiment with building a convertible. So that's what I did, because every sports car is generally convertible. So I completely stripped out the back. I redesigned it slightly. The stoplight has been moved up. It's got a row of actuators back here, which lifts up this bit, and then on the back here we have got more actuators here. Dark beige canvas, or well, dark beige flat pieces to look like canvas, and then you've got an actuator system here, which yeah, does things. The whole sports car itself is unchanged. The number plate's the same, and everything. The radio aerial was moved forwards to make room for this whole thing at the back. And the whole back looks slightly different. It's chunkier, I suppose. But yeah, if we change this to sun time, or daytime as it's more commonly known as. So yeah, here's what it looks like, and then if you press Alt, pitch opens up this, throttle, you can move it backwards like that, and then pitch is to move it back down again. And hey presto, you now have got the original sports car back. Unfortunately, I didn't really map this one out very well, because in order to make the 6 wide roof, the textures tend to glitch, as you can see, and it sort of jumps everywhere. But other than that, the steering and driving doesn't actually get affected. It's just the back which sort of jiggles around. And then if it starts raining, then again it's Alt and pitch, and then throttle to move it up, and then pitch to bring it back down again. And with the roof up, it works perfectly fine as a roof. The back doesn't jiggle around or anything. It's just when you have the roof down is the only problem. But other than that, it works as a convertible. This was my first attempt at a convertible. The only problem is that you can't see backwards. You can't see backwards with it up. But yeah, other than that, it works. as a convertible. You can put it up and down, which was the main thing. I mean, you can't really now because we're upside down and I've broken into a million pieces. But yeah, so I made a convertible, and we'll set it back to the original time of dawn. And keeping on convertibles, I decided to try and make a bigger convertible, and I tried to map it out correctly. So I tried to modify my electric car. Now, it hasn't gone very well. It converts as a convertible. The only problem is that it looks very odd now. It's got a very wide back. As you can see, it's not as thin as it once was. It's gained some weight. But the front is unchanged, sorry, right up to here. Obviously, apart from the roof. But other than that, it's completely the same. From here back, it's completely changed. In here, as you can see, it's a mass of space and actuators and various other bricks and redirectors and all sorts of things. The back swings open, and you know, it does these things that you want it to do as a convertible. I'm actually going to change that. So I had to have more controls, and I was actually running out of controls by the end of this, but basically the essence of it is that I widened it so that when this thing comes in, it doesn't glitch. The textures don't collide, the back doesn't jiggle around or anything, it just collapses in as a convertible. And because I still wanted people to see, which is a hindsight that I didn't think about when I did the sports car convertible, I just put in various amount of flat bricks, which, you know, do things as a convertible, which allow you to see out of them, rather. So yeah, this uses just various redirectors and flat bricks and everything. And then up here there's a set of actuators here, there's a set of actuators back here, the bottom of which is glass here, as you can see, so that you can see out of it, and then it uses another set of actuators down here, plus more here. There's a lot of actuators going on in here. But other than that, it's exactly the same. The plate still reads PL1T as plate. It's still got the reverse lights, it's still got the brake lights, it's still got the tail light and the warning lights, and it's still got the headlights at the front. And it's still electric powered, so it's good for the environment. Huzzah. So, yeah, it doesn't jiggle around when it's down, but it does when it's up. That's the only side effect. So let's make it sunny again to warrant putting up the well, you know, the convertible bit. So it's pitch to open up the back here, like so. And then it's Alt and pitch, yeah, to do that. Then Alt and throttle to do that. And then it's Alt and steering to bring it all the way down. So that's what you end up with. It's a neat little package sitting in the back of the car. No boot space, unfortunately, but hey ho. And then you can put down that again, and that's what you get. Just a fat pickup truck looking electric car. Still seats 4 though, but again, no boot space, which will put off potential buyers. As if this thing was actually going to be sold to anyone. Yeah, that's... yeah. So... yeah, other than that, the steering and things doesn't get affected again. It's still an electric car, so it still goes like the clappers. Yeah, still got the beige tarpaulin roof, as it were. Still screeches and makes a lot of noise. But it converts. Yeah, that's the best you can say about it. So, unfortunately, the textures do glitch when it's up, and that's only because I want to have the glass roof, and if I was to leave a gap, which would stop it from jiggling, if I was to leave a gap, then it would leave a gap in this bit, which would make it look not very good when the roof was down. But again, yeah, pitch to open up the back, and then it's Alt and pitch to bring up this, Alt and steering to bring up that, pitch here, and then Alt and steering, sorry, Alt and throttle to open up that, and yeah, and then if you bring down again like so, then yeah, you get a nice roof. And this time it doesn't jiggle around, so you get to see how it looks when it's down. And yeah, this is how it looks with the roof down. If I don't crash, you can see out the back now, because I actually, you know, added in glass this time, so that you can see out. It is unfortunately rather wide. It has put on weight. which was an unforeseen side effect, but it's written on the bottle, so you should have read it better. But yeah, so let's just convert it one more time. So it's pitch to open that, and then Alt pitch to do that, Alt and steering to do that, sorry, Alt and throttle, and then Alt and steering to do that, and then that's for closing down that again, pitch, oh god. There we go. So that's how it looks with the roof down. You got plenty of space. It's a huge, stupidly wide car, which I don't like. But other than that, it's my second working convertible, so don't judge it too harshly. I'm allowed to judge it harshly because I built it. So, but yeah, so it's not up on the workshop yet. I don't know if I will upload it, but hey ho, there's that. And is the sun rising or setting? Don't look at it. It's rising. So yeah, there was that. And then I'm going to keep with the electric car theme because my friend and I, today actually, as I'm recording this Saturday, I won't tell you which Saturday because that's a secret, but on the day that I am recording this, my friend and I were talking, and then he was like, oh, let's build caravans. Then I was like, yeah, great idea. What can possibly go wrong? So I built a caravan, and this is the best that I came up with, because I sort of started building it too small and never really corrected it. So this is a small caravan because this is designed for a two-person trip. I know it's still got 4 seats, but that's because I didn't want to change the base car. The base car that I am using is, of course, my electric car. So yeah, my electric car is the base car. Just because it was easy to just slap on a towing hook at the back and leave it. So, yeah, and of course you can completely take off. You can just unhitch the caravan when you're at your place or whatever. I should really have a stand though if you do that, which comes down. I can just use some actuators or something. But as for the caravan itself, I started building it too thin, and so I widened it. I had to change some of it. This is the mudguard that I'm using for this one, so it's got the studs on the top so that I can build things onto it, because it happened to be the mudguards that I'm using for the electric car. On the back of the caravan, it's got all of the important lights again, so it's got 2 sets of warning lights on the side, on the back there, and then it's got reversing lights up here, it's got brake lights here, and then normal tail lights back there. On the front, no lights obviously, however it is sloped. The doors were a bit of an issue because the doors, when they open, are too wide. As you can see, when you've built onto this, you've got a 2 brick wide gap. But the problem is, your character cannot get through that 2 wide brick gap. You have to have a 3 wide gap, which is why you've got this funny door contraption. That's because in order to get in, I needed to make the doors wider. So I was like, well, we'll just add in another door. So yeah, I added in another door, and this is just to stop the draft. I actually need another brick there. Hopefully that doesn't break it. But yeah, so there we go, we fixed the door. So yeah, I had to modify it slightly. I didn't want it to be this high, I wanted it to be flattened off with these on the top of these trapezoids and things. But as it happens, that was not a possibility. Just a shame. But yeah. So it's got plenty of windows so that you can see in. And because I built this thing too small to admit a big family, I need to build it increasingly bigger. So that'll be the next project, build a bigger caravan. But yeah, because there isn't much room, this is only a 2-person caravan. It's got a little step here so that you can get in better. Because it is fairly high off the ground, so that's why that step's there. And then finally get into the inside. This is supposed to be a little oven. That's what that is, a little oven. Those are the hobs up top. And then you've got little bits of counters, and then you've got a sink, as it were. That's supposed to be like a you know, the spout coming down. And then this is water. These are just redirectors and things, painted dark blue and glass. They help hold on this, but then it also doubles as water, which is nice. In fact, I could try out that and just flatten off the top. It looks like it's overflowing. I'll just leave it as that. So yeah, there's that. You got a little tap here, which is what this little contraption's meant to be. And then the bed, it's colour-coded his and her side. So her side is on this side, pink, painted just so that it's easy to identify. And then his side is in this dark blue, built onto a pine bed, pine bread, pine bed, and then. Yeah, these are supposed to be pillows. These things light up with the warning lights because I ran out of light bindings. Because headlights are obviously being used, as are tail lights, as are brake lights, as are reversing lights. So I had beacons and warning lights, and beacons are used for something else, so I had to go with the warning light, which is annoying, but oh well. So yeah, again, not much space. There aren't any cupboard spaces, but up top, I'm just using these 1x1x0 redirectors just up the top. Light, sorry, actually, no, they're 1x1x0 lights, which is obviously why I have them here. And yeah, these are just the lights. And yeah, there's that. Yeah, roof does look a bit odd from the outside, but it does emit a person or two in here, so 2 people could feasibly live in here. Yeah, doesn't matter that the car seats 4, this thing only seats 2. So if we take it outside, nice and sunny. So the doors are actually opened with pitch, and they open like that. And then you can get out your car, you can come in here, and then hopping onto the step, there we go, and then jimmying your way inside, which I did manage to do, but somehow cannot now, I think. Possibly those things are stopping me, either that or that top. Okay. So, as I was saying, you simply hop in and... oh, bugger it all, still can't get inside. So then, as I was saying, you simply hop inside here and... oh, bugger it all. I'm not going to bother trying, I'll just go into free camera. So yeah, you can just come inside and you can do all that. Plenty of space. Well, not plenty of space, but plenty of windows so that you can see outside. Oh, almost in. Come on. Yes, there we go. Huzzah, we're inside. So this is what it looks like inside. Yeah, you have barely any room. That's the space that you have. You can see out the windows, though. The windows function as windows, albeit even if you don't have much room. But then why are you even jumping in a caravan? So you can disengage from your car, and it'll sort of do that. Yeah, other than that, you're a bit trapped inside, but yeah, I don't know how to build caravans. And it explodes apparently, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, I'll have to sort that out. So yeah, there's that. And then looking through, no, I don't think I have anything else. So we come to the grand finale, which is where my friend suddenly said to me as we were playing Brick Rigs, he was like, let's build motorbikes and sidecars. Then I was like, God, please no. And then he was like, yeah, let's do it. What could possibly go wrong? So, after a lot of time and effort, I eventually built this little thing over here. Probably not the best motorbike that you've seen, but Brick Rig has very few, or at least the workshop has very few motorbikes to offer. So it is one of the few motorbikes around, plus sidecar, don't forget. It's not particularly great at driving, I will admit. However, it sort of looks the part, and it functions as a dual-person movable object. So I started almost from scratch. I did cheat a little bit because I have the Kettenkrad. And because I built a Kettenkrad, I was able to take sort of the front portion of it and slightly modify it. So that's what I did. I've repainted it, obviously, from the dark, from the grey of the of the German military. But yeah, I was able to cheat a little bit and use that. And then BrickRigs is updated, which means that we've got brand new bricks, and those allowed me to build this mudguard, which was very helpful. So it's got this little mudguard here. On the front, the motorbikes generally have, well, at least the old style motorbikes have got the number plate sort of on the front here, which goes around the mudguard. And because you can't really do that in BrickRigs, I've had to use this contraption of glass to build this this thing. And yeah, these are just two different nameplates tagged onto redirectors, and then inside of those there's these rounded bricks, just because the square bricks of the nameplates I thought looked a bit too big, so I was like, I'll just round them off with that and just change the nameplates to glass. And because it's on black, got to paint the words white, or paint them on as white. And yeah, so the whole contraption is sort of held together with a lot of glass. Glass is used a bunch in this creation. If I didn't have all this glass, I imagine this wouldn't stand up. Or at least it would fall apart, which was a problem as I was building it. But under here, this is the fuel tank bit. As you can sort of see underneath all of the glass and other bits and pieces, this is the fuel tank under here. And then moving down, or in fact actually to connect the two things together, I've just got these rods which are, I don't think serve any purpose, but they do look nice, so they're sort of decal sort of things. Coming down here, this is the engine. It's the little car motor. I've changed the gear ratio so that it sets off quicker, but other than that, it is just the little car motor. And then on the side, it's just got these couple of bricks here. And then on the side, to make it steady, because I found that it was collapsing in the middle, because I built the motorbike first, the sidecar secondly, and so in order to hold them together, I just use these rods. And then I've got these couple of glass redirectors, which I probably don't actually need anymore there. Watch that break the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, so those connect the two halves together better, because I tried to connect them under here with these things. This is just a one brick tool cylinder which is just mounted onto a redirector, which sort of pokes outwards, and it's supposed to connect to this thing, but yeah, they sort of don't. They sort of don't join. As you can see, it switches between the two, which was a shame. So this is now just decoration, really. Don't even need it here, but I've kept it as decoration. And there's one on the other side, because I thought, oh yeah, that'll keep it stable, but no, they don't. They aren't actually joining, which is a derp moment. But coming to the back of the bike, we got a brake light there, because well, I can only fit the one tail light onto the back of this thing. There's the number plate, and because I decided to set this in the 1930s to go with my race cars, I set the number plate as MB for motorbike, and then 1930. And yeah, because I didn't have much space on the back, I had to mount the brake light here, which is handily on this 1x4 flat, which is what's connecting these two rods together. And then on the back, in order to mount the rear axle onto the bike, I've just got this glass contraption, which is then held onto this redirector and this rod, which then connects to this glass redirector, and also this 3x1 brick, which sort of goes between the two, as if there's like an axle going all the way through. And also these look a bit like suspension struts, so that was a nice little bonus. Brown seat, just to make it look nice. Again, the fuel tank in here. Plenty of glass over this side. Look at it, it's not even see-through, that's how much glass there is there. And then the sidecar bit I just bolted onto the side, so yeah, this has just got 4x1 flat brick, and then a couple of light cylinders held onto redirectors. And then the front just sort of rounded off a bit. And then we got a mud guard back here with a wheel. These are some glass bricks which just helps secure the sidecar. And then this helps keep the bottom on, which is this bit here, because otherwise it would all fall apart. And it also helps to keep these things on. And so yeah, and then the sidecar just bolts on to the bottom of the motorbike like that. And then the colours that I put it in, I originally put it all in this normal red, and then I was like, no, that just looks weird, so I decided to interject it with some dark red as as contrasting colours. So there's bits in dark red, such as the mud guards, the whole handlebars here. Some of the other bits, like the fuel tank, is in a dark red. The front suspension shock bits are in dark red, as are these bottom bits. And yeah, that's given it a nice effect. So yeah, this is what it looks like. There's tail lights on the back again. Yeah, technically motorbikes aren't supposed to go in reverse, so they don't have a reversing light. But yeah, it's rather unstable. I'm not used to building motorbikes. I was sort of thrusted this. I'm up for a challenge. So when my friend suggested it, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I tried it, and this is the best that I came up with. I'm fairly happy with it. It looks like a motorbike, feels like a motorbike when you're on it, and yeah, it sort of handles like a motorbike. The only problem is that you can't turn to the left quickly, otherwise you roll over. But to the right, the sidecar sort of keeps you steady, and it can go up to about 150, and then it sort of loses control. But that's only in straight lines, because otherwise that happens and then the whole thing breaks, and you're left with half a motorbike and a sidecar. And again, only the front one steers, because, well, you know, that's how motorbikes work. And we have left behind some for our motorbike. But yeah, so that's the motorbike and sidecar. That was the challenge I was suggested, and well, this is how it worked. So this is in a collection with my 1930s race cars, if you want it. And then, because when I was building it, I originally wanted to build the motorbike first, bolt the sidecar onto it afterwards as an afterthought sort of thing, because, you know, the main motorbike is the big problem. So yeah, so I then wanted to have just the motorbike, which was going to be a whole new challenge to drive by itself. So what I did is I removed the sidecar and just left it at that, mostly. So yeah, this is in a blue, a blue and a dark blue, as you can see, contrasting colours. The colours themselves are exactly the same, except they've just been swapped. So all the dark red is now dark blue, and all the red is now blue. And yeah, everything else is the same. Tail light, brake light, nameplate, front light. That needs to be dark blue. There we go. So yeah, and then because it would fall over when you try and drive it, unless you set off right away, I've got this kickstand, which does actually move. You can move this kickstand. Fold it in, as you can see, -90, and it moves slightly quicker, and that's activated with pitch. The other controls for all of those other things are exactly the same. H for headlights, no warning lights, because I don't have space, frankly. And yeah, it's WSAD to drive it. I sort of started to get the hang of my motorbikes, actually, on how to drive them. You sort of have to set off, bring this thing in, and then you sort of have to roll yourself like so, until that happens, and then you smash into a wall. But other than that, the kickstand is out far enough so that you don't quite lean over, which is very handy. The only problem is that you can fall over and sort of not do very well. But let's see if I can actually control my motorbikes to an extent. Oh, no, I've lost the front wheel. There goes the drive. No, we're gone, the steering's gone. Yeah, so there it is. It's just in a dark blue, and again, you can find this in the 1930s collection that I've made of 1930s stuff. In fact, these two things are going to be the only things in there that aren't race cars right now. So yeah, there's that. And then we've got this thing, World War II motorbike, because stealing the front handlebars and things from the Kettengrad, I was building everything in this Panzer Grey. And then I was like, well, it seems a shame to actually get rid of the Panzer Grey. So I saved this just as German World War II motorbike. So on the bottoms here, it's got these German crosses. The whole thing's still in the Panzer Grey. The number plate has been changed to read Panzer, as you can see, PANZ 3R, and then again on the back as well. And then on the side I added in this cute little saddlebag, which I'm quite happy with how it turned out, frankly. Probably the best bit about the motorbike, because it still uses this whole glass complex, which is a very odd thing. I could streamline it by moving this into a 1x1 actuator axle rather than this 1x2, which I might experiment with, but not now. And yeah, other than that, Panzer Grey, German crosses, cute little saddlebag on the side, make it look military, change the number plate, and yeah, there we go. Again, lights and everything still works, but I want it in the light. So yeah, this is how it looks in the light. Oh, this is also how it looks in first person. If you don't have the kickstand open, good luck trying to turn. That's all I'm going to say. Without any obstructions, I was able to get this thing and the other non-sidecar motorbike up to about 110 miles per hour. But again, that's without obstructions on the grid map, which again didn't have any obstructions, and not having to worry about crashing into anything. But yeah, this is how I'm supposed to try and drive it. I've got to sort of lean and let it lean for me, and let the leaning steer for me. But oh dear, yeah, that's gone well. So yeah, we've changed maps here. I've gone to the grid map just to show you what I can try and do without having to crash into buildings. So there we go. Bring in the kickstand. Again, these are legit on 2 wheels, so none of those extra hidden wheels. This is driving on 2 wheels and 2 wheels only. And yeah, if I can take this off, as you can see, we're at about 100, 108, 109, 110, 13, 115, 120. We're at almost 130 now. Here's what it looks like in first person. Again, legit, 2 wheels, no hidden wheels, nothing. Zooming along at 160 now. We're racing along in this motorbike. Look at that. So yeah, I am proud of these motorbikes, because of course we're at 180 now, 190. Oh, we're leaning though. There we go. Once you get up to speed, they're remarkably stable. 218, 220, 222, 223. We're leaning again. There we go. We're now dead level. 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, 239, 240. 41. Right now, I'm just letting it run to see how fast I can get up to, but at speed, I'm remarkably amazed by how stable these 2-wheeled motorbikes are. Oh, wobbling, 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 wobbling. Oh god. Just as I say how stable they are, it starts to wobble. 246. God, you can just about see it in the background. You can see how much we've deviated from a straight line, so there's no way you're going to be able to do this in a straight line, but 246 is the top speed, and we're wobbling too much. But now if we just sort of slow down... Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh dear, that was a bad idea. Yeah. Oh dear, there goes the fuel tank in the rear. Oh no, that's going to hurt. And there is actually a fuel tank in there, by the way. That's not a 2x2 cylinder. That is an actual fuel tank. Oh, there goes the engine. And the kickstand. And yeah, that's what we're left with. So yeah, motorbikes, everyone. Still, 245-ish in this thing. That's quite a feat, I would say. So yeah, there we go. So those are the latest and greatest creations that I have made. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And yeah, I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.